I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on Not Bobby Durkins, because I'm Brian Knight and I am not Bobby Durkins, at least not right here. If you're brand new, thank you so much for joining me here. Hit the subscribe button, A, because it's free, B, because it's free, and guess what C is? It's free. Also, hit the notifications. It'll let you know when I go live with my craziness I call this little channel. So Clemson is going to play Tennessee this month, 12:30, not 12:30 p.m., 12:30 the date. So on December the 30th, Clemson's going to play 8 p.m. in the Orange Bowl against Tennessee. Now, the interesting fact about all of this is that Clemson has already lost this game and they haven't even played it. Let me explain. So, Tennessee lost Hendon Hooker against South Carolina. Hendon Hooker, the Virginia Tech transfer into Knoxville, he left that mess that's been going on at Virginia Tech for some time now. They had that one good season with Fuente, and it hasn't been that great. To be completely and totally honest, and somebody had to point this out to me because I lived in this mindset that, oh man, Frank Beamer just had amazing seasons. Frank Beamer had some good seasons, but overall, it wasn't just gangbusters. I mean, Dabo Swinney's had way more success than he has. There's a lot of people who's had a lot more success than Frank Beamer. He was just in the game for a very, very long time. So they've had some spotty success here and there. And when it was successful, but it was not always like that. It was not, every game, So with that said, Hendon Hooker leaves Virginia Tech, goes to Tennessee, just plays lights out, gets hurt, so he's not playing. I mean, one of the best stories in college football over the past couple of years. Then to add insult to injury, Tillman and Hyatt are not playing. I know that Hyatt is opting out for the draft. Can't blame him. It's a business decision. We all need to accept this. College football is nothing but a decision, or a business decision. And if you kind of have a hard time accepting that, I want you to think about how much money you pay to go sit and watch a bunch of 18 to 21. Well, then there's Stetson Bennett, who's like 30. I love to pick on Stetson Bennett. He's had a lot of success. It's low-hanging fruit with his age, but he's done very well. I just like picking at that. But 18 to 22-year-old boys, guys, men, and you pay just to get crappy seats at a decent game an arm and a leg. It's a business, folks. You need to accept it. Accept it. College football as we know it is dead. It is dead. Just RIP it. Enjoy what you can. But it's a business. So Tillman is going to be out as well. I can't remember. I know that he had some injury. I don't know if he is still injured and he's just opting out or if he's just going to opt out. Either way, Tillman's not playing. So you have Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, and Tillman who are not playing. So you tell me how that would be, just with Tennessee. If Tennessee came in with the majority of their offense and they played Clemson, and Clemson didn't have Will Shipley, Maffa, Ngata, maybe Davis Allen, but especially Cade and the two running backs. Doesn't matter. And so Clemson can win this football game. And by the way, they should. If there is any of you out there who thinks that Tennessee, other than Tennessee, if you're a Tennessee fan here and you're being honest with yourself, you know that it's stacked up against you at this point. The only thing that you have working in your favor is our poor coaching on the offensive side of the football. That's what you have working in your favor, is that we still have – Cade Klubnik came in against North Carolina, and yet again, just like Trevor did, it slapped a Band-Aid over poor coaching. So for you Clemson fans who thinks that because Cade's in, everything's going to start to get better, all it's going to take is for Cade, and I predict this next season, for us to play a really good football team who knows how to scheme, something our offensive side of the ball cannot do. Can't do it. Won't do it. I don't know whether someone's hands are tied. I don't know whether somebody's got photos of someone doing something and they're like, I'm making you hire me and you're going to keep me on your staff. But I am telling you, as soon as whatever cliche statement makes you believe it, Cade Klubnik is going, as fantastic as he is going to lead Clemson probably to a pretty good season next year. And then they're going to play some team who knows how to scheme on defense, and they have the talent to do it. And they're going to do what Ohio State and LSU did to us the past two playoff games. Okay? That's what's going to happen. But you go to this Tennessee game. Tennessee's defense, I mean, my God, what can you say about Tennessee's defense? And by the way, Tennessee fans, if you watch this, I'm not talking trash. I mean, how did you give up that many points to South Carolina? How did you do it? I saw them. I mean, they're treating their 1-point victory over Clemson like, I mean, they're like, man, we whipped y'all's tail, man. We drug y'all. It's like 1 point's a dragging to y'all. It tells you how little they win over Clemson. They don't know what it's like. So 1 point win is a dragging. Y'all, how did y'all do? I watched their offense. It was not that good. If our offense was just decent that day, namely put the right quarterback out on the field and turn them loose, Carolina fans, even if it takes them getting mind-numbingly drunk to admit it, they know that they wouldn't have won that game. They know it. But you know what? They can thank our $10 million a year coach and our offensive staff, whoever it may be, who made the decision to not do that. But Tennessee is, right now, is anemic when it comes to talent as overall. I'm talking about overall. You either have people hurt or you have people opting out. So if Clemson comes in and wins this ball game by 3 to 7 points, people are going to look at Clemson and go, what is wrong with them? They should have won by way more than that. And then all of a sudden people are going to start using logic. Because people don't use logic until they need to use logic or until it's too late to start using their brain. People do this all the time. So they're going to realize, doof, it just hit me. It just hit me. Hendon Hooker didn't play. Hyatt didn't play. Tillman didn't play. Oh, what? Well, no. Well, what's Clemson doing not winning that much? That means they're a bad football team. And Clemson could be holding up the trophy. We won the Orange Bowl. The only way that Clemson will get even any credit for winning this Orange Bowl against Tennessee, a depleted Tennessee, a defense that is non-existent. And Tennessee fans, if you want to get mad at me for that, all I got to say is you played South Carolina. We saw what you did against South Carolina. That was embarrassing. I've been pulling for you, Tennessee. I have a lot of respect for Tennessee. You have a great story of what happened, the turnaround. Josh Heupel should be the National Coach of the Year, either him or Sonny Dykes, and y'all need to erect a statue to Josh Heupel for what he did. You know it. But there's still no explaining away what happened with y'all and South Carolina. There's no. and the players that you still had in the game at that time. And the point is, y'all don't even have them playing against us. So, Clemson fans, unless Clemson comes out there and beats Tennessee by 4 touchdowns, we've already lost this game. We've already lost this game. And that's the truth. Because Tennessee will not have their best players, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. It's not going to change. You know? It is not going to change. And that's why no matter what they do, Clemson has already lost this game. And you mark my word, if Clemson wins this game by just a few points, and especially if they lose it, they have no business losing this game. I know Murphy's sitting out. He's opting out. No, Trenton Simpson's out. Okay, I get it. I'm waiting for Brian Brisset to not play. I would not be shocked if he didn't play. And if some of y'all have heard something that I don't know about and he already has said he's not going to play, please let me know. But I can promise you that he will not, or that Tennessee should not legitimately on paper have a chance in this game because they have no offense. Got a few people getting here. I want to say hello to you. I'm about to shut this sucker down. It's a shorter video today. Jonathan Benton, how's it going? It's good to see you. Clemson, Carson, my old buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. Parker Henderson, part of the Henderson sisters. Got James Massengill in here. He's having some fun. Parker says, we've known that Cade has been the man since the Tech game. Having Cade on the bench is like having Shipley on the bench and saying, well, he fumbled a few times in practice. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happened. To me, Cade Klubnik sitting on the bench all season, that should say more about his good character, that he would be willing to sit there and watch his team lose. And you say, how's that good character on him? He was basically being mistreated and then being told to be a team player. You know, if you're a team player, you got to understand that guy right there who's struggling in the offense. He's earned his keep to go out there and struggle. And it's like, well, hold on. You're not helping DJ. You're definitely not helping the team, and you're spitting in my face. And you just want me to be a good team player. Okay, yeah. So we're operating in a backwards world. Because that makes sense. Folks, real quick before I go, say my closing thoughts. I want to let everybody know my buddy over at the Sawmill Shop. I put the link below, the Sawmill Shop. If you want this cutout, this is a 6x6 cutout. It's on a piece of wood. It's a nice little vinyl covering that he puts on the front. So, if you think that he sits around and he hand paints these, you are drunk. I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but probably in your life, you're probably 5 o'clock all the moments. It's a fantastic piece. This was a prototype, and just because we're friends, I got this. It's a prototype. And he does not sell this one right here. But check this out. Go to the Sawmill Shop, and I appreciate Eric and everything he's done for the show. And let him know that not Bobby Durkin sent you. You could tell him that Bobby Durkin sent you. It does not matter. He knows exactly who it is, but he's been a supporter of the show, and I've known him for quite a while. Used to work with him. That's a long story. It's funny, but we've kept up with each other. He's a friend of mine. So do check out his shop. Also, if you're married, if you have a girlfriend, or maybe you just, I don't know, let some of the lady folk know that, if your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, sees some of the other products that he has in his shop, they will absolutely love it. I've got some of these things. He'll probably kill me. He's giving these to me because they are just they were kind of like closeouts and so on. That's a Halloween cutout. It's really, really cool. He has some cool like state park stuff. I don't believe he's selling this one anymore, but I did get this one for him, like Joe Cassie. So anybody who is in especially the upstate of South Carolina area, you would really like some of those because he makes really, really great products. So let him know. I'm going to give my closing thoughts on this. James, I want to tell you, James, I am so happy that your team, Gamecocks, and if you say they're not your team, my question is, why are you going to battle for a team that's not your team? Unless you're an ABC team, anybody but Clemson, which that's kind of funny. But hey, just for banner purposes, yeah, Clemson was up 14-0 and poor coaching cost us. Put Cade in, y'all would have lost 8 in a row. But congratulations for you. Dreams come true. And as much as we messed up and played, y'all still managed to only win by 1 point. That's right. You climbed the mountaintop and defeated us by 1 point. 1 point. Not a touchdown. Not a field goal. 1 point. 1 point. Hey, you know what? It's the little things that makes some people feel so good about themselves. Just tired of hearing if. If is the difference between changing things and fixing it. And so if Swinney would have listened to losers like me, as he probably would think, he'd be in the college football playoff right now. Yeah, I'm that confident because I saw the talent that he let sit on the bench and let Cade grow almost dust on him and moss. So, if South Carolina was okay, if South Carolina could keep players, if South Carolina could recruit better places, the only thing that I could say is maybe y'all would be better. I mean, y'all would be much better, and winning 7 consecutive games against you would not be common for y'all. I mean, you had the 5-year, if. That's funny. Good job, James. Good job. You need to enjoy it. You should enjoy it. It's the first time in 8 years, technically, because COVID got you out of the butt whipping last year. So enjoy it. Going on. Clemson is in a really, really peculiar place. I think that all Clemson fans know one thing. That is really, if you're being honest with yourself. Now, I want to remind you that in a lot of Clemson circles, they don't like me. In a lot of Clemson circles, they don't like me. They don't like, hate Bobby Durkins. Hate Bobby Durkins. And it bothers me that some Clemson fans are dumb enough to believe that Bobby Durkins is a real person. Yeah, no, that is dumb. But a lot of people doesn't like some of the things that Bobby Durkins said, and then come to find out they don't like what I've had to say. Can you guess what it is? I'm the same guy who said before it was okay to say, and more people's coming around to it. I said after Clemson won the national championship, and we got about 6 games into that season after the national championship, I was the one who said something does not look right on our offensive side of the ball. They're not hungry. There's no intensity. And at that time, Clemson was putting up unbelievable numbers, but something did not look right. People telling me, go away, go to your little cave that you live in or whatever, and just go away. And then, the next year, which was the year that we ended up playing against Ohio State, it began to get really, really, really obvious. We're not playing with the intensity, but guess what we could all go back to? Listen to me. We could all go back to where they made it to the playoffs again. So Dabo could do that sarcastic smile that he probably doesn't do to his wife because she'd divorce him. He can do that to us. He can do that to his players. He will not do that where he did. And I like Dabo. I'm just saying where he gets that, where he gets that grin, you can tell it's the same grin and the look on his face that he had when questioned about if there was going to be offensive changes or changes in the offensive coaching, and he got angry. Then he threatened to leave. But he could come back and he could say that. But notice in those two playoffs, we got our heads ripped off. Oh, I know you could use the whole thing about LSU, and the LSU was a really good football team, and this, that, and the other. Clemson was up 17-7. They were up 17-7. Blew it. I will not quit beating this drum. Why? Because the problem's still here, folks. The problem is still here. Do you understand me? And you need to understand that the problem is still here, folks. It's still here. Then DJ comes in. He hadn't been developed. They hadn't thought ahead to whether if he didn't pan out. Tyson Pomachew, or however you pronounce his name, he was a 4-star player. He wasn't developed. And people like myself were told to go away. Go away. I mean, all in. Go away. Go away. And then the season ended. And then this season started. And I gave DJ credit because he started throwing the ball a little better, started playing a little better. But then it started washing out. And let me tell you what I've learned here. I don't know everything there is to know about football. I don't know everything there is to know about scheming. There's not that, but I'm telling you, if there's something that is not right, and you can feel it and you can see it, there's just something that's just like, man, there's no intensity, there's no creative play calling, and then you see how those two seasons ended. Folks, there's something going on. But normally problems like this take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Before you know it, you've turned around and you're like, oh my goodness, that was 10 years ago. The problem started and we didn't see it. Yeah, it's because you had your head stuck up your tail. And you thought, wow, this cave is dark. And it stinks. That's the reason why. And I'm telling you, Cade Klubnik coming in, taking over in the North Carolina game. After up to that point, we had been fed lies that I know one of them for sure came out of the Clemson camp. Someone who was on the radio with them, and I'll leave it at that. Said that Cade was throwing interceptions in practice and that he was not coachable or that he was not mature enough. Somebody forgot to tell Cade that when he went into the North Carolina game. I don't believe it, folks. And what I'm telling you, another Band-Aid is being slapped on the Clemson coaching problem by a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Unless Cade comes out there and just next season and just blows it. And by the way, if he does, that's what, 3 quarterbacks in a row? Pomachew, 4-star. DJ, to this day, DJ is one of the highest rated players that we've ever signed. I know that they're not all going to pan out. I know that all 5 stars and 4 stars, it doesn't. Some people says that 4 and 5 stars doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you look at most of the athletes who are in the NFL and who has done very well in college, the vast majority of them are 4 and 5 star talents. Sorry. It matters. Most of the teams who are going to play for the national championship, who are playing in the playoffs, who are playing in the big bowl games, are ranked in the top 15 of recruiting. The majority of them. Why? How are those ranks compiled? Based on who you sign and their rating. I know we all want to. Hunter Renfrow is a fantastic story. You know why he's a fantastic story? Because he was a once-in-a-lifetime product, a preferred walk-on who was running the quarterback position at Socastee High School playing option quarterback. And he comes on and he's a great wide receiver. But don't you get it? Not all walk-ons are like that. In fact, the vast majority of them are far from that. And that's what we want to build our team on. What if we can figure out that this guy's that walk-on over there from Daniel High School, man, he looks really, really good. I like Swinney. I respect what he's done. Y'all, don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. The problems with coaching has not been fixed. In fact, this ACC championship game exposed it, verified it, and then raised one more thing. And I'm leaving with this. Is that the armchair quarterbacks like you and I, who people are more than happy to look at us and ask us, well, how much do you get paid to coach? Nothing? Well, I bet you don't even know a cover zero, do you? I used this analogy the other day, and I'm going to use it again. I'm not a mechanic, but I know when something's wrong with my car. And when I take my car and I pull it up to a garage, see a mechanic, the mechanic goes and he looks at the car. He calls me back the next day and he says, hey, your car's fine. Come on up here and pick it up. What? Yeah, your car's fine. I go back up there and I'm like, oh, well, he might have found something I didn't know because I'm not a mechanic. Go crank up the car. It's like, it sounds like, a pail of garbage. Throw it in gear. It gives me whiplash, and it's an automatic. And I take it around the block, and the car is running just as terrible as it is. I pull right back around there, and I look at the mechanic and go, dude, something's wrong here. Something is wrong here. Barely would crank. When I put it into gear, I now need to see a chiropractic after I leave here, or chiropractor. And the car's not running well. That mechanic could look at me and go, how many years have you owned your own garage? 0. I bet you couldn't tell a drive shaft from a transmission, could you, boy? I believe I can do that, but what are you trying to say? I'm the mechanic. You're the customer. I do my job and you trust me. Okay? Now go on. Folks, that's exactly what is happening to Clemson football right now. We are told to buy tickets to see Furman. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I took my oldest to see Furman in Clemson. It was a cheap ticket, and a cheap ticket was still like, $35-$40 a piece to sit up on top of that back top section up there, on top of the stands, to where if you tilt backwards, you'd fall off the back of Death Valley. I was sitting almost there. So $35-$40 to go sit up there. And then if you want to see a decent game, and you want to have okay seats, you're going to have to shell out at least $150 per ticket. So they want us to come there. They want us to cheer, woo-hoo, see, oh, and give a big old boom and everything. They want us to be loud on third down for the defense. They want us to buy this. They want me to start my channel, but my God, they want us to keep our mouth shut when we see that the car is broke down. They want us to keep our mouth shut when we see that the car is not running well. And here's the caveat. We believe that the person who was working on the car could not only fix the car, he could take the car and make it better than anything you ever drove. And he could. He could. But he's fine with it. So y'all go keep buying your tickets and buying your season tickets, and you keep watching on TV and keep buying your Clemson gear and keep showing up to meet the players and just go. Whatever you do, you remember that you're nothing but a bunch of backwoods South Carolinians, a bunch of rednecks that I took over a terrible program. And I fixed it. And maybe that's not how Swinney really feels, but that's how he comes across. Once again, I appreciate the man. I hope nothing but for the best for him. I just want the old Dabo Swinney back. The Dabo Swinney who goes, man, I know we went to the Orange Bowl, but why was Cade sitting on? I think if Dabo Swinney from about 2015 came in and saw Cade sitting on the bench, I think he would lose his mind so much, his hair would just let go out of his head. And he'd be like, what? I don't know if people criticizing him has made him defensive and he doesn't want to come around and he thinks that we're all against him. I'm not against. I tell you this, if the coach could hear me talk right now, I'm not against you. I just want your old version of you back. The old version of you that said, you know what? It is not good to put a young man out on the field if he's not ready, because that's not helping him. That's not helping him be a better young man. That's lying to him. That's catering to him. That's also putting up a middle finger to all the other young men who are busting their butts to get out on the field and play their best. Put the best man on the field, not the best one who played in practice. If they're in practice, if they play well in practice, but they get in the game and they're sucking it up, well, guess what? You got to put the best person who's going to play in the game. That's the Swinney that I came to respect. The one that I'm seeing right now is someone who is either going through something that none of us know about, and I hope that's not the case. I hope he's okay. I'm having to move this because I'm getting a shadow from my light. Or from my window right here. It's making me look angelic. By the way, 15 thumbs up and I got 48 people in here. Hit the thumbs up if you will. Share it with other people. Or else we're seeing a man who has won. He has fulfilled his winning desire. And he's just like, guys, enjoy what you get. Shut up and go away. That's what I'm seeing more of. But at the end of the day, this is just a football team. This is just a school down the road from me. This is just a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old kids. Boy, they're not kids. They're guys. They're not men either. They're guys. A lot of them look like men because of the way they're built, and they go grow a beard. But I'll never forget, I used to work with some idiot. He was talking about Leonard Fournette. He said, man, he's a man. He's got a baby. I'm like, you idiot. Anybody can create a baby. It doesn't mean he's raising them. some people and the way they think, it just every day it validates to me why the world is as crappy as it is. All I want is for our coaching to truly be fixed, the right man put out on the field, and give them the best shot at winning. And I know this has turned a lot of away from gotten away from the title of this video, but I'm telling you, Dabo Swinney can do it. If he wanted to, he could do it. That man could walk in there and make heads roll. He could have decisions flying out, and I'd guarantee you a national championship next year. I just don't know what's going on with the guy. It does not make sense. When you've watched somebody and you've watched them grow, and then you see them start doing unspeakable or things that doesn't make sense with them, it bothers you. Because you're sitting there going, am I like that? Is there somewhere in my life that I thought that I was just totally normal, and then suddenly I'm not operating the way that I used to? And give the man some grace. But I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you a forewarning to you Clemson fans like myself. Cade is just an amazing Band-Aid placed on the coaching issues that we've seen on the offensive side of the ball for about the past 4 years. And it's not going to change. It is not going to change a thing. So, either way, I'm getting all worked up about this. I hope Coach Swinney and his family the best. In fact, I mean, the man's rich. He has a wife, 3 sons. He's doing better than monetarily than all of us. So don't worry about him there. He's fine. He's successful. He's in the public eye, so he's going to take criticism. The man's in great shape. He doesn't care what you and I think. But I hope, as just an individual, football or not, I hope he and his family are well, and I hope he knows that we do appreciate the things that he's done. We are just concerned because he's not doing those things like he used to, and that's what I'm concerned about. And I just always want to convey that, but I do wish him the best, now and just like I would anyone else. So, closing, Clemson, unless they win by about 4 touchdowns, everybody's going to see this as a loss. Nobody's going to take it serious. I'll still take an Orange Bowl win, especially after the season that I had to sit through and had to sit there and watch some craziness. I will take it. Trust me, I will take it. But just to remind you, check out the Sawmill Shop. My buddy, he's got these. Right now, I think he has about 8 of them ready to go. So if you want to buy those, hit him up. Check out anything else. If you want to support the channel, and I've not put this link in here, have not put it in here in a while, but I am going to put it in here as soon as I possibly can, because let me see, I'm going to put it in while we're on here. If you want to support the channel, right down to just giving $1 to the channel and supporting it, go for it. Go for it. And there's some other options in there. But I do appreciate you being here. This channel has grown awfully fast. Now, I know there's channels on YouTube that has millions of followers and everything. I have over 850, almost 900 in about 3 months. I started this channel. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate each and every one of you who show up. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you just watch here, from time to time, still subscribe. It does help me. I admit it. It helps me. And hey, it makes me feel good to see those numbers go up, because it lets me know that people appreciate what I'm doing, what I'm talking about, even if they disagree with me. So I do appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, hit the notifications. Look, you know what? Even on a bad day, it's always good to be a Tiger. Thank you for joining me on Not Bobby Durkins, because I'm not Bobby Durkins. But we might show up. I don't know. I love freaking people out about that. All right, y'all have a good one. You'll see me later this week. Go Tigers.